Alright, so here's the story. This video was shot like 5 minutes after I dropped Teresa off to go down to bale that hay just before the fire happened. So I did have a little bit of time here. It took me, I don't know, I want to say it took me about 20 minutes, 25 minutes before this fire had started. You know, come out here. It was on the way home. Check these soybeans. But I will tell you though, I'm going to go back. We've had almost 3 inches of rain down there since this video was shot. So, and that was 3 days ago. What happened on Sunday? So this video was taken on Sunday, Monday. Today is Wednesday now, so it's going to be a few days since this. Probably going to go down there either today or tomorrow and take video of what you're about to watch now and the difference between this video and the next video. So check it out. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna show you how dry it is. I just dropped Teresa and Tim off. Teresa to bale about 4 or 5 fields of hay, and Tim to bring a mower home. And I stopped by one of the last fields of soybeans that I planted. Second to last farm that I planted. There's 70 acres here. Look at this. Brand new shoes too. There was, I mean, I don't know. This is crazy. The guy was in here a week ago with a bulldozer and pushed that driveway out. The bulldozer had to go back to where it came from. And you can see that these beans along the field here, the edge of the field, are drying up. They're just drying up. Now they can come back. If we get an inch of rain or so on these beans, they'll come back and they'll grow very rapidly because they have put a lot of energy down into the roots for the reproductive stage of its life. To be honest with you, I'm not disappointed in these soybeans at all for what the type of ground that it is, the amount of rain that we have had, which wasn't much. You can see where I've sprayed them. Obviously secret sauce on this many times, like twice, and I also put down the potash and chelated lime, or calcium, chelated calcium. We have not seen rain on this farm in exactly 20 days today. I was wrong. I stated earlier that it was 21 days. It is 20 days today. I looked. But if you look, they're blooming, and there's pods here. The disappointing thing is that hay that is supposed to be decaying to feed the plants is not decaying because it just doesn't have the moisture to do so. This is not such a good part of the field, but you get on up in here, and there's hemp dogbane that's severely impaired, and obviously the beans haven't filled in because we just don't have the rain. This field, that field, the better fields are back there. Really, in all honesty, I cannot complain about these for what they've gone through. Let me dig down here just a little bit, and you can see, I'm trying to make this thing work. My camera, I'm not happy with this camera. It's got this 2-piece thing. You'll break a knife off in there. Dry. Dust. It's dust. You can barely feel any moisture down here. And for 20 days of no rain, well, there is some moisture. You can see it. Very little, but these plants are digging for it. So I thought I would see a lot more wilting here. I have another farm that was planted the day before this one, and that one's wilting. So that's more shaly ground. This is deeper soil here. But yeah, severe drought, it'll do it. There's beans here. You know, 15, 20 bushel beans is what it's looking like to me unless we get rain. Yeah, 15 to 20 bushel beans if we don't get rain. I'd really love this. This would have been 60, 70 bushel beans with everything that I put into it, as far as the chelated calcium, the potassium sulfate, the secret sauce, and that was all designed to give it the best chance at producing a very healthy bean. And obviously we are in the shit of it, but no rain in 20 days now here. 20 days. And the rain that we had before that was 6/10. It was 6/10 of an inch on that day. And it was, what was that? 12 days before that we had an inch or so. It wasn't much. I could go back on the farm log and take a look and see if how accurate my recollection is, but I can tell you, I'm really sad because I really, what the hell, man? I really wanted to have a good crop this year. I mean, first year back into soybeans, I'm not going to complain on the soybeans, to be honest with you. For what they're going through, if I hadn't done what I did, they wouldn't be half as good as that. As a matter of fact, it probably would have wilted up and died. So, you know, you've got that. The beauty of it is that we're supposed to get an inch of rain. If we get an inch of rain and those flowers, it's flowering, it's blooming right now. There's honeybees on this stuff right now. And if that's the case, which it is the case, we're going to get rain. If we get an inch of rain, that will just force those nodes to just put on beans and fill the pods that are already there. Same with what the earlier planted soybeans are too. But yeah, I mean, as bad as it is right now, as what you see in that dust. I mean, I just stepped in that dust. I stepped in it and I went down 6 inches. You know, just stepping in it. It's crazy. There's another field here. I don't think I'm going to pull up in there. No, I'm not. I got a car behind me. There's another field here, and they look good too. They do have some deer pressure right here along the edge, but the back is fine. So, whatever. It is what it is, and we're just going to roll with the punches. So, instead of it being, you know, 50, 60, 70 bushel beans, it'll be 20, 15. Okay. So that went into the internal storage. I had some dirt on the camera. It was kind of screwing things up. I'll have to retrieve that. But anyway, yeah. An inch of rain on this will do monumental amounts of good. Like I said, it'll probably increase the yield tenfold because of the trash that's underneath there and the root systems that these plants have developed. I'm going to go and pull that out if I can. They got a taproot there. I just snapped it off. But, you know, not impressed with the pod count at all. Not impressed with the pod count at all, because these beans are just in survival mode. They've been in survival mode for a while. And, you know, they were later. Hold on. They were later planted soybeans, so they got time. I mean, it is what, the 18th or 19th? It's the 19th of August. They got a month of life left in them before they do start to mature. So if we get an inch of rain now and then an inch of rain the next week, it'll just, they'll start to bloom again and go right back into the, they're out of vegetative state now. I mean, they will go back into a vegetative state and then reproductive state again. And, you know, obviously it's just a really difficult year this year, which is fine. You know, I mean, it's all right. Popcorn's looking good. I'm gonna go and drive on out here right now, just a little ways. I'll drive right out about here. I gotta pee too, so I'll walk out into that corn, take a quick look, and then we'll go from there. But you know, this farm has 40 some acres of soybeans on it, and then of course the popcorn is here. What's really weird is we're getting the shorter stalks that have plenty of life to them. You know, they're growing. They're actually starting to tassel out now. This is a bare spot because I planted too deep. Yeah, but I'm okay with that. I'm not going to pull an ear. I'm just going to look at them. But here's the amazing thing. 1, 2, 3 ears. I mean, these two will produce something. That's a sucker ear, but it'll probably produce something. Yeah, I hear bees. Look at that. The bees are gathering their pollen. I hear a lot of them. They're all over the place in here. So we got a good honeybee population, which is a good thing. Look at this guy. Come here. See if I can catch you. Come here, honeybee. Look at them. So they're working really good. I know where these bees are housed. Look at them. This is amazing. There's a bumblebee. More honeybees. Just honeybees everywhere here, which is great. That just means that pollen's getting trickled down onto this popcorn here. Oh, look at this guy. I mean, 1, 2, 3, and a sucker for a fourth. I don't know. I can't wait to harvest this, actually. But a lot of them, they're just 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a sucker here. That's not going to amount to anything. So I learned something the other day, and I learned something the other day which a lot of people don't know, and I didn't know. I always thought that corn put out brace roots on a normal everyday occurrence, you know. But I did learn that corn only puts brace roots out when it's under stress. Yes, when it's under stress. So if you got a perfect year, in the last couple of years, I have had 0 brace roots. You've heard me say this on my channel. And this year I got brace roots coming out my ass. Well, the corn is under stress. Whether it's this popcorn here. Look at them. Popcorn or regular field corn, brace roots everywhere. Drought stress. Any kind of stress. Whether it's a drought stress, wind stress. If you've ever noticed a field of corn that kind of lean to one side, it'll put out brace roots to the other side to try and anchor it so that it doesn't go on over. Yeah, if it's a fertility stress, yes, a fertility stress, which this does not have. You can see that it's perfectly fine. Look at that pollen. And these bees, I'm deaf and these bees are just buzzing like hell. Look at this guy. He is loaded. That dude has a packet of stuff on his legs. Look at that. This guy, he's new. Look at that. I don't know if you're able to see this bee. These bees are just doing their job. I want some of that honey now. I've always wanted to be a beekeeper. My problem is that if I get stung, I got to go for Benadryl. And it causes like paralysis. Oh, look at this. There he is. Look at these guys. They are all over this. Now I got sweet corn up the road here. And I'm sure that sweet corn is producing some good old-fashioned GMO honey. Not really, it's just honey. Anyways, yeah, here I go.